Hi, my name is Christy Day.
And I'm Jeff Launette.
In FCPS, we've had a focus on Portrait of a Graduate, the 5 important attributes that we all use to find success in many facets of our lives, as students in school, as professionals in every career, and even as active citizens and neighbors in our community.
So how can we ensure that every student is getting an opportunity to develop these important skills, and perhaps even more importantly, that every student can recognize and celebrate that growth for themselves, moving from teachers knowing these attributes to students owning these attributes?
That's where Portrait of a Graduate Presentations of Learning, or POG POL, comes in.
POG POL is an experience where students take part in a presentation of learning, a conversation where they have the opportunity to say, I grew, I can prove it, and here's why it matters.
Students share how they have grown in 2 Portrait of a Graduate attributes. They make a claim of growth, use evidence to show how they've grown their specific skills, and reflect on how the growth is meaningful to themselves, their community, and the world, today, tomorrow, and in the future.
Wait, Christy, skills, attributes, how can a class or a student focus on all of these at one time?
Well, Jeff, they don't. Here's the thing. If we look closely, Portrait of a Graduate is separated into 5 attributes. These are big ideas or dispositions, like communicator, ethical and global citizen, or goal-directed and resilient individual. And each attribute is broken into a handful of smaller skills that students can do repeatedly over time to become the larger attribute.
So a student will focus on refining ideas or creating unique solutions to become a critical and creative thinker, or consider multiple perspectives or getting feedback from others to become a collaborator. These smaller skills are actionable and specific to things that can happen in any classroom.
Exactly. During a presentation of learning, we want the students to be very specific with how and when they've used these skills and grown, and how they've used these skills to find success throughout the year, in their classes and in their lives outside of school.
And how students share. The presentation itself can look a lot of different ways. A simple conversation between a teacher and student, or a group of students.
A recorded video with time for question and answer after.
A formal or structured presentation,
or even a science fair style exhibition. Any of these work. What they are talking about is more important than the format. Schools and teachers can decide what works best for their students' schedules and team needs. The main point is that every presentation includes the opportunity for students to share, I grew, I can prove it, and here's why it matters.
In these presentations, we've seen students proudly sharing their growth. They celebrate unique strengths, share details of their lives, backgrounds, and interests that probably wouldn't come to light without providing an opportunity to share their voice in such a meaningful and personalized way. It's a powerful chance for educators to truly get to know every student, how they learn best, and who they are in their own voice.
How can we get started? It's easy to focus just on the presentation, but it's actually the steps that lead us there that are most important. It's the ongoing opportunities for meaningful learning experiences, relationship building, feedback, and reflection that happen throughout the year.
To make this happen, teachers have to start with the learning model, where our daily instruction leads to Portrait of a Graduate outcomes.
First, align daily learning with recurring Portrait of a Graduate skills of focus.
Then, make sure students have meaningful opportunities to know and use the skills in a purposeful way.
And to regularly reflect specifically on how and when they use these skills to find success in and out of school.
Once those best practices of POG are happening consistently, students will be able to select evidence that shows how they use these skills across subjects.
And curate their evidence to show their growth throughout the year.
They'll use this portfolio of evidence to plan their culminating presentation of learning.
Each of these steps is important and leads to POG POL success. And we don't have to do all of them at once. Where is your school or class? How can we make small changes to add one step at a time? That's what will make this manageable for teachers and for schools.
As a VDOE School Division of Innovation, Fairfax County is on a 5-year mission to ensure that all students get an opportunity to share their growth in Portrait of a Graduate through a presentation of learning.
POG POL provides the opportunity to empower all students to self-affirm, to self-assess, and to self-advance, helping to prepare them for success today, tomorrow, and throughout their lives.